from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Hello and good morning. I am Forecaster John Bordash with you in the JB Weather Center this morning, continuing to track the heavy rain threat we have going on across the region this morning. It really started overnight. I've been here in the Weather Center since about 2 a.m. tracking everything, and we've seen that heavy rain that initially started across parts of Virginia last night move across the DC metro area, and now it's pushing through parts of our region, and this won't be the only round of rain today. To get started with, though, we do have a few weather alerts to get to, so I do want to touch on all of those. We have 4 distinct ones, so we're going to work through that, then the forecast for today, and then we'll kind of work you through Futurecast as well. So the most important one right now is going to be this flash flood warning that is going to be in effect until 10:30 this morning. This is going to be for parts of St. Mary's County, and you can see that there on the map. So again, this goes till 10:30. At 7:31, trained weather spotters reported thunderstorms producing heavy rain across this warned area shown in green. Between 2 to 4 inches of rain has already fallen in this region, and additional amounts of 1 to 2 inches are possible within this warned area. So that means that flash flooding is ongoing or is expected to begin shortly, and we're talking about a life-threatening flash flooding situation in this region. So some locations that are going to be impacted by this include Leonardtown, White Point Beach, Compton, Clements, Oakley, Loveville, Able, Morganza, Helen, Bushwood, Tin Top Hill, Avenue, Chaptico, Redgate, and Maddox. Again, it's going to be this green area right in here, and if I show you some of the rainfall totals that our radar here is estimating has already fallen in this region, we are seeing that it's estimating upwards, getting close to now 5 inches of rain through parts of Loveville and Hollywood, down into the Leonardtown region, 3 to 4 inches of rain, 4 inches as we head on over towards Clements, down towards Avenue, 3 to 4 inches, Chaptico, over 2 inches. Same deal in Oakville, extending this even on over towards California, where you've seen 1 to 2 inches of rain. And as we zoom out here, you can see that locally, this little blob of heavier rain shown by those purples and reds, that's going to be locally where we've seen the heaviest rain. The purples represent totals up over 2 inches, and we see we have a big area of that in northwestern Charles County as well. That's going to be including Pittsburgh, Indian Head, Waldorf, Bennsville, Bryans Road. This region is under a flood warning, which I'll get to, and then we have an additional area of heavy rain locally that's set up over Annapolis. But you see some of those bright yellows and whites through the DC metro area, parts of northern Virginia. Those spots saw between 3 to 7 inches of rain last night alone. So in addition to this flash flood warning, we also have just a general flood warning, which isn't as dire or as extreme as a flash flood warning, but still pretty serious for central parts of St. Mary's County. That goes until noon today. We have an additional flood warning there for the northwestern parts of Charles County and southwestern parts of Prince George's County. That's going to be going until 11 a.m. now, and then that flood warning for parts of central Anne Arundel County, that's going until 1. So what are we expecting throughout the day today? I think we're dealing with this first initial band of heavy rain that's pushing through between about now and about 10 o'clock this morning. We should see a little bit of a break in the activity where it's just lighter rain between about 10 o'clock and about 2 or 3 o'clock, but then we likely see additional pockets of heavy rain develop after about 2 o'clock that linger through sunset. Let me take you on over to Futurecast. Let's time this out here for you. You can see it has the heavy rain pushing through our region, kind of underdoing it a little bit, but giving you that general idea that that heavy rain will be around through mid to late morning. And then you see that little bit of a break around 12, 1 o'clock. But then we see an additional round of heavy rain begin to push on into the region by 5, 6 o'clock. It may not look all that ominous here, but we see how it's already underdoing the rain for this morning, so we could see that happen again this evening. But Futurecast and many of our models show that we have rain that begins to push out as we head towards about 8 o'clock or so this evening. So by and large, the heaviest rain today really will likely be along the I-95 corridor as we push forward. An additional 2 to 4 inches of rain could be possible there. But even here in Southern Maryland, an additional inch or two is possible, and you could see locally higher amounts. These rainfall potential maps are much different than a snowfall forecast, where snowfall forecast much more uniform. We have small differences, but by and large, when you forecast 2 to 4, almost everyone's getting 2 to 4. Here in the rainfall potential, it's really going to be spotty. If we take you back on over here to live William Richmond Dink radar, we can see that right here in central St. Mary's County, you have that bullseye of 3 to 5 inches, but southern parts of Anne Arundel or St. Mary's County, radar's estimating only half an inch of rain. So you're going from 4 inches to half an inch in just about a 10 to 15 mile radius. So we're just talking about the overall general potential with this forecast. But this is to show you that that heavy rain really will be centered from I-95 points to the east throughout the day today. And that's why we have that elevated to significant risk of flash flooding across the region. The highest risk, that significant risk, has kind of been trimmed back and kind of bullseyed on the I-95 corridor, those urban areas that are the most prone to flood. We've been dry recently, which makes flash flooding a little bit more difficult in our region, but that elevated risk, that level 2, is still rather uncommon for our region. So it is something to take seriously as we work through the day today. And that flash flooding threat really will be the highest risk level for us today. I think we're talking numerous downpours and instances of flash flooding. We already have that ongoing in St. Mary's County. Then you have damaging winds as well. That will be a elevated threat today, but it won't be the primary threat. I think we're talking at most 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts. That threat of a hail or a tornado, pretty low today. Severe weather really won't be the primary threat today. It really will just be this heavy rain threat that, again, we continue to note is ongoing here across parts of St. Mary's County. And this, again, includes high population areas, Leonardtown, Loveville, on over towards Clements and Colton's Point. It's really this region from about 235 Three Notch Road back to the Potomac River, and from about Callaway up through about Chaptico. That's going to be your region right now, the heaviest rain, and radar is really picking up here on some pretty high rainfall totals, potentially getting up over 4 inches through parts of Loveville and Hollywood, 4 inches continuing into the Leonardtown region, then down along parts of our back rivers and bays here in parts of St. Mary's County. So stay aware, stay alert for the threat of flash flooding today. Flash flooding becomes a pretty serious deal here, and it can escalate pretty quickly. So these are just some of the things you want to keep in mind when you're under one of these flash flood warnings. You want to get to higher ground. What's different from severe weather is that you don't want to be in a basement for flash flooding. You want to be as high up off the ground as possible. You don't want to enter flooded waters if you're driving. I know that not very many people follow that. I know it's very easy just to try to beeline it through, but when you're talking about 4 inches of rain falling in a very short amount of time, that's going to cause tremendous issues on our roadways, let alone if you're in a ditch or a lower spot in the road. Then all the 4 inches of rain, you're adding additional runoff on top of that, and you're piling that water up pretty quick, and you want to make sure you have ways to get those updates on your phone. JB Weather is going to be one of those amazing ways to do that. One new thing I am trying out today that I would love feedback on throughout the day, it's going to be the new live blog that I'm trying today. I'm using this as a way to push out updates, real-time updates, but have all the updates kind of in one location. I've found that over the years, people don't always scroll through Facebook or scroll through Twitter to see a question they may have was answered in a post from 20 minutes ago, but they didn't see that. So if you come here to the live blog, just head over to jbweather.net. It's live updating. I'm continuously pushing up these updates. You can come here, and it's really easy just to scroll through. You can click on the graphics, see what it's showing. Here you can take a look at that rainfall map there for you, and it really is a great way to get those updates, I think. So let me know if this is a better way for you. It's still providing updates Facebook and Twitter as normal, but I'm really trying to centralize the updates here on the website with the craziness of social media, especially for those of you that follow that aren't on social media. So stay weather aware. I'll show you Futurecast one more time today, again, just walking you through this, showing that rain's going to be around all day today. Not everyone's seeing heavy rain today, and it won't be an all-day rain event, so to say. It's going to be more intermittent and spotty, where we have a batch of heavy rain working through right now. We'll get that midday break, and then another batch of heavy rain pushing through this evening. So those flooding issues really will be ongoing throughout the day. When you get that little bit of a break midday today, don't think you can go out and start planning for an outdoor party or something like that. Outdoor events are going to be really tricky today, and I definitely wouldn't advise it because you're going to see that rain push in very suddenly across the region as we continue to talk about that heavy rain threat across the region. I do want to quickly come back over here, show you radar, because what we are tracking, you see this little bullseye here, heavier rain, this orange, this red, just north of Erica, Virginia, pushing across the Potomac. This is going to be working here into Lexington Park, Park Hall, St. Indigo, St. Mary City here over the next hour or so, and this bad boy is going to put down a quick half inch to inch of rain. So I wouldn't be surprised to see an additional flood warning get issued for southern parts of St. Mary's County. Initially, the heaviest rain was focused first across the D.C. area and then across our northern areas in Charles, PG, and Anne Arundel counties. It's now shifted south to focus on parts of St. Mary, southern Calvert counties, and it's going to continue to shift south. So southern St. Mary's County, you're going to be getting in on the heavy rain next as everything continues to push eastward and slowly sag to the south. Outside of this, again, not much else going on right now, but we're going to see areas of heavy rain redevelop across the region. On national radar, you can see this rain back out here to the west in Ohio and in parts of Kentucky, West Virginia. That'll be pushing in and intensifying as it crosses the mountains. So it'll be an active weather day, but stay with JB Weather. I'll continue to have updates for you. It'll be an active weather day, but there's no other place you can get updates in real time here for Southern Maryland other than JB Weather, so stay tuned. In the meantime, though, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Please stay safe out there, stay dry, and please heed all warnings that get issued. They are issued for a reason. They should be taken seriously. In the meantime, though, until the next time we talk, I'm Forecaster John Bordash. Have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned here to JB Weather for the latest information.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.